Well, the Winter Series has been going on for 40 some odd years. I think the four of us took it over in
3 years ago.
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah. Well,
I shadowed Jen and Jeff,
yeah.
and then I wrangled all these guys.
Yeah, when
to
Jeff
help
and
me
It's
out.
been around a long time.
Jeff and Jen finished up, and Brandy came and said, "Hey, join me band and let's form the Winter Series." And she got Tim and John, and I said, "I'll be with you. I can join your band."
And we've been jamming ever since,
Yeah.
man.
Jamming ever since.
Right.
Everybody in the community knows that it's the coolest race in town, so it just brings people together, and it gives us a chance to get crazy in the snow.
We like to meet at a coffee shop at 6:30 in the morning and go over our plans for the day. Like Robbie's gonna be here, Tim's gonna be here, Brandy's gonna be here, John's gonna be here. Then we get an idea of where we're all at, what we have, what we don't have, what we might have missed, like the hot
If somebody
chocolate
forgot hot chocolate,
or the urns or whatever it might be. But from there, it's just the beginning of the race starts out with us just kind of going out and getting the cones and setting up the course if needed and doing what we need to do.
We still have some donuts left from last year that we use on the course. No, just kidding. Those things never go bad.
And this year, well, we had to change the start line. So we get up there and there's a thick sheet of ice right where we normally have the start line. And we had to, it's constantly changing. We're always having to, make little tweaks at the last minute and just be prepared for that when it comes.
and maintaining really good relationships with like the park rangers that we work with, because the park rangers out at Cheyenne Mountain, they were down at the lower lot breaking up sheets of ice so that the runners could come in and not slip and slide all over the place.
Those
And
women were wonderful.
they were amazing. And good old Corrine out there breaking up the ice with them. She's amazing. She's one of our volunteers. But it's always interesting because you really never know. You can plan for everything, but you have to be expecting that things are not going to go the way that you want them to.
Race 3 is pretty easy to set up. We have all the locations where we need course markings already mapped out, and we can pretty much drive to everything. And race 4 is kind of the same. We all split up in different directions. Brandy will mark the start and finish. John marks Bear Creek. I and myself and Robbie, I think Robbie goes with me, right?
Cowbell.
Robbie takes care of the cowbell, and then I go up and do the northern part of the course.
It's funny because I was just thinking about this. I'm usually injured every time Winter Series comes around. And so I'm more of the make sure everybody else is doing okay while the guys are out there making sure the course is good and getting water up and just making sure that part of it is good to go and the parking. And then I grab the microphone and do the announcing.
And Brandy's so good at that. Public speaking, and just,
I'm like Buddy the
she's
Elf.
very positive and just has a lively, enthusiastic voice, and lets the participants know that day what the trail conditions are like and what to expect out there, what to beware of, and she starts the race. And then also, I think you also announce the people as they come across finish line.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fun. Well, we've got the timing team, which we always have.
It's amazing.
Lori Hawkins,
John Garner.
John
John
Gardner.
Cassidy,
Tony.
Tony.
Abdella, and
And then we got the new guys, John and
Jeremy,
Jeremy.
who are
Rickard.
amazing.
and Tom Seaman, who's
Tom Seaman.
kind of coming on and helping with timing.
I do want to name drop
Pat
Will Snyder.
Lockhart,
Will Snyder is always there.
He's always out there, and we can always trust that he knows exactly where to send everybody.
Yep, our course marshals are very important.
And Dean Yeager. I mean, he's been instrumental.
Dean Yeager's been
helped us mark.
helping us
I
every
could
race
probably
this
name
year.
every single one of our volunteers.
Lucy
because
Stansberry,
Lucy.
Mary Jo.
Yeah.
I mean, all the
Who are we
old
forgetting?
and- I mean,
Goodness.
the people who are always there at every race.
The
Even my
Lowski
kiddo.
family shows up.
Gracie,
the
yes.
whole family.
Because Winter Series, I mean, let's be honest, it's snowing or windy or really, really cold, and the volunteers are there just to help us, and because they want the race to go off really well too. And so all of them are amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
We love our volunteers. Oh, and Jason and Sydney are always there.
Jason and Sydney.
And so's Nick.
we have so many wonderful volunteers.
No kidding.
This is a labor of love, I think, for all of us. I do this because I love it so much, and I love giving back to the community, but it does require a lot of your time.
I think the most challenging aspect of putting the Winter Series together is probably the coordination of the routes and putting all the volunteers together.
It's a really cool race, and from this side of it, it's just magical to watch the runners, and it's a blend of competition, but it's also camaraderie. It's fun to watch the runners support each other, and it's like a big family. All of us as directors know many of the runners, and it's just great to see it all come together, and just appreciate all the runners that are willing to put themselves out there and put the effort.
Just the energy of race day is amazing, and to see all the runners from the very beginning runner who's never really done it before to the really experienced runner to the young runner to our 85-year-old runners, everybody out there doing something so wonderful and hard. That is why I do what I do. I love race directing because you get to experience that. After a hard week of work and just the hustle and bustle of life with kids and sports and things, getting up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to go trudge around in frigid temperatures, you would think is not, like, you don't always want to do that. But at the end of the day, when you've been on your feet all day, you haven't sat down and you've eaten donuts for your sustenance, my heart is so full. My bucket is full just looking around and just seeing all the smiles on the runners' faces and the volunteers that are out there in those cold temperatures just to make sure that everybody has a great race day. You just can't beat that. You really can't. You can't beat it.
Anytime you're running in the snow, you're having fun.
Yes.
Yep.
It's partly why I come back and help year after year. I love seeing the runners. I love the vibe of a race, and I love seeing all the volunteers and people I've known over the years at these races. Couldn't do it without our volunteers, and certainly couldn't do it without the Pikes Peak Road Runners.
The community of people that come out, and when we all come together, it's just so special and fun, and it means a lot to me. But we couldn't do it without the volunteers and the participants and everybody coming together. And I really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate everybody that puts anything into these races. Winter Series 2 of 2025 was freaking amazing.
It really was.
It really was.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. It was snowing. Every kind of feedback I got from just the day itself, the weather. It was cold, but it wasn't too cold. It was snowing.
Thank you so much for running the Winter Series.
Thank you for running the Winter Series. Hope to see you next year.
Thank you all so very much for running the Winter Series.
Thanks for running in the coolest race in town.